everyone, so today we are going to be doing DIY glue dots, which for me, I like to try to find alternative ways to make things that we use all the time and when it costs a lot less money, which makes me super happy. So this is not my original idea. Christine actually sent me some DIY glue dots and I loved them so much that I wanted to make my own and share it with you. Okay, so there's two things that you are going to need. The first is this Aleene's Tack It Over and Over. It is temporary fabric adhesive. And at first I was like, what? This is fabric adhesive. How is that supposed to make glue dots? It totally works. I swear it does. So this, and then you're also going to need, this was actually off of a glue dot roll I had. I just ripped a piece of it. So I'm going to make some glue dots on this, and this will be my paper that holds it. So the best thing about this is all you do is simply place down little blobs of glue as big or as small as you want them for your glue dots. Now I like my glue dots kind of round and puffy instead of flat. You can do them however you want. I'm going to do big and small ones for the project I have in mind. And I'm just going to fill up about half of this paper. So I'm going to rip this right here. And you'll see why in a second. Now, something to remember. The bigger the dot, the longer it's going to take to dry. And also, it will spread out. So give it a little bit of time. I know I'm not one of those patient people. It's really hard for me to give things time. So I'm just going to take this and set this aside just to dry while I work on my project. Okay, so I just have the standard size card front. The actual card, I will be placing this on top of the actual card. So I ran this through my Big Shot machine, and it is the Sizzix little dry embossing folder, and it says Merry Christmas all over it. There, you can see that. So that is going to be the base of our card front, and I'm going to actually just set that aside until I need it. And then I'm going to take this strip here. This is a 2.5 inch strip by 5.5. So 2.5 by 5.5. Okay, and I have this Live in Fossils set. Now, I wanted to use this in a totally different way than it was intended to be used for. I'm going to use this sprig right here. Okay, so I have my T-squared ruler, and I am just going to mark where the middle is, just lightly, and then flip my paper here. Kind of so I know where it's at. And then I'm going to just, yeah, I think I will. I think I'll put a line kind of where I want the top of my words to be so it's kind of centered. And then another line at the bottom. So I sketched out really lightly the sentiment joy, and I wanted it to go all the way across so it's big in the main focal point. So I have the My Favorite Things hybrid ink. This is the chocolate brown. This ink is okay to use with Copic markers, and that's why I chose it for today. So I have this little sprig, and I'm going to take it and place it on top of the letters. I might have to take it and manipulate it to make it more curved while I'm doing it. So I have this piece of black cardstock, and I'm going to place it over the circle part so that the stem doesn't go inside that circle where I don't want it to go while I'm stamping. It's a great way to just kind of cheat a little bit. Let that dry, and then I'm going to just take an eraser and erase the pencil lines. And it's important when you're doing projects like this that you use a white eraser so that it doesn't leave any residue of the pink or whatever colored eraser you have. Okay, so I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to use YG13 and YG17. And I'm going to kind of do every other one. Okay, so I trimmed down this piece just a smidgen, and then I cut some 1/2-inch strips of that red cardstock, lace a tiny bit of adhesive on the edge, and then place this down where I want it. I like to just cheat a little bit and only use the little pieces if nobody's going to see the outside edges, because it just saves cardstock in the long run. So I'm going to use this bird brain set, and I'm going to use this little bird here. I already have it cut out and stamped. That was in my pocket from my silhouette, so I didn't have to do that, which saves time. Technically, if you were going to do this technique, you could use this stamp, this stamp. There's so many stamps that you could use to do this, which is really awesome. So I have the R29. I'm going to color up this little bird, and it is so small that I don't think I'll really be doing too much shading. Just 2 colors probably. And this is R24, or 27, R27. To give this bird just something a little extra, I'm going to take and just dab on some little tiny white dots. Okay, so here are our DIY glue dots, and you can see that these are, the big ones are kind of still milky and they're not completely dry yet. So the reason why I kept the other piece of paper is so that we can lay that on top so it keeps them safe and won't stick to anything or get dirty. So I'm just going to pick them up, put them into little balls, and then wherever I want the little ball to go on this, that's where I'm going to place it. Okay, and then I am going to take just a piece of scratch paper underneath this, and this is retro red ultra fine pearlescent glitter, and it's by AIG. I've never used it before, but it looked really pretty. So I'm going to cover these glue dots. And while it's there and it's all thick, I'm pushing down to really kind of embed that glitter inside those glue dots, and then flick off any extra little stray. Oh my gosh, that's so dang cute. So a little trick I have for when I'm using glitter so that it doesn't go everywhere is I have a lint roller, and this is like really inexpensive, like $1 at the dollar store, and just take and roll it. And it picks up all of the glitter, and you don't have glitter anywhere. I love this. I keep this handy for that reason only, if nothing else. Okay, so I have my card here, and I have this cute little bird that we colored up. And if you notice, there's a little bit more space here, not technically at the top, but at the bottom. And so for me, I wanted to put a little element. So I have some foam adhesive, and then I'm going to put foam adhesive on the back of the panel as well. Okay, so before I put that panel on, I'm going to place this down onto the base of the card using some tape runner adhesive, like that. And then I have this piece ready with all the foam adhesive, and I am just going to place it in the middle-ish. And then I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella pen and take it lightly on top of the little red bird. That is our card for today. I hope this inspires you to look at your stamps in a little bit of a different way, to use them for whatever occasion you need, and to go and create something that's perfectly imperfect. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.